Want to get your name in the intro or have your deck in a video? Well, head on over to my Patreon today to become a vinyl. You will get benefits and support the channel while doing so. So, what are you waiting for? Please check the description below, click on that link to the Patreon, and support me today. Now, on to the video. Oh no's, hellos, and welcome back to another videos. And I thought this detected it, but I guess it didn't. There we go. So today, someone requested that I do a deck tech on my Feather Infinity deck. So let's do that actually. Let's take a look at our Feather Infinity deck. Why don't we? And yeah, it's pretty degenerate, but it's not that degenerate. I do say God's willing with Feather, you know, should be banned like type of strategy, but overall this deck is kind of, there's some memes to it, but mostly, yeah, it's one of my most powerful decks. It doesn't lose that much, although I have been lucking out with draws and haven't been getting my combo recently, so I don't know what that's all about, but you know, I upgraded this deck so it's at version 3 right now, so now it's Jeskai. It used to just be Boros. When Revitalize was still a thing, it's no longer a thing. It's not that good. But now we have Jeskai, so we have added benefits of like Teferi and Deputy of Detention. So we have 4 Gods Willing, of course, to protect our combo pieces, also to protect Feather, so we can use the Gods Willing interaction with Feather. Unsummon, same thing, but we can also unsummon creatures our opponent controls as well. Another way to get the combo. But our main combo is using the Discard's Portal. And you're going to see how that interaction happens. We have 3 Anticipates in the deck just to search up our combo piece. You don't need to add Anticipates. I would only add 2. I'm just adding 3 because lately I haven't been getting them. I just added 3 just to make it happen more profitably. 3 Burning Prophets. This is just a scry. I also use it just because it's a good creature on its own, just catching the non-creature spells. I did have this defender that did 1 damage for each instant sorcery I cast, but it got too boring and it wasn't that good. This at least protects you. It's a decent body creature, so it can protect you reliably. Prison Realm with this is just for control. This is just also to stop Oko. I added 4. I had 3 in the deck, but I actually added 4 just because of Oko. Oko's just been showing up in these things, and I actually been getting pissed off because Oko was shutting down my Feather, and even if I use the Discard's Portal, it would not work because technically it has a creature with no ability. So even if I portaled my own feathered elk thing, it would not work. So yeah, I added 4 Prison Realms. Same with Deputy. I added 4 Deputies this time just for Oko decks. Yeah, you could see the problem with Oko. You can really see the problem. I have 4 Teferi Time Ravelers just to protect our combo. This is also to protect it from counter spells and interacting with the stuff, you know. I have 4 Feathers to redeem, of course, for the combo to start, and Angels of Grace for also the combo to start. So here is the combo in a nutshell. You first get out your Feather redeemed, and you have a Discard's Portal in your hand. You flash an Angel of Grace. Now you want to do this when you're at a decent life total. If you're not, you could just flash it in as a 5/4. It's a pretty good creature even if it dies, because its other ability can make your life total become 10, so sometimes that could be good, sometimes that could be terrible. But the main way you win with this deck is you get Discard's Portal out with Feather and have an Angel of Grace on the battlefield. You use Discard's Portal and target Angel of Grace each turn that is your opponent's, and you can basically flicker your Angel of Grace to not lose the game. This deck really hinders aggro decks a lot, and I've been noticing that. Although the decks that it kind of suffers in is probably going to be Cavalcade. That's the only aggro deck I see kind of beating this. Just because we don't have Revitalize, so we can't really rely on that. So yeah, that's a big problem for this deck. And also, I think the Jeskai Fires deck has really been pissing me off, and I haven't actually been winning with that deck either. But Gruul aggro, yeah, it can work. Same thing with White Weenie, sure. Esper Stacks, no problem, because I have Teferi. Simic Flash, no problem either, because I also have Teferi. And a lot of like mid-range decks find it really hard to defeat this deck. I've been noticing, at least. If you can't also get the combo, you can also use Unsummon and Feather with Angel, and you can unsummon your Angel Grace to do the same effect, except it's a little bit slower. I wouldn't say a little bit slower, it's just less mana efficient. But this is the unsummon is actually to protect against black decks, because there is one fatal flaw in this deck, and that is that you can't actually infinitely not lose the game. There is one effect that will still happen, and that's the loss of life. So any black deck playing the Cauldron Familiar Cat combo deck can beat you. And the first time I did it, I thought that he was cheating, but no, I read it into the cards of Rada, and life loss effects do not count towards Angel of Grace's effect. This is only damage. So yeah, that's the story of how this deck can still get beaten. And it's not like infinite, you can't lose the game. You can, of course, still lose the game due to the stack. So if your player plays a shock, you can flicker your Angel of Grace, sure, but then they can play a shock, another shock, and kill you that way if you don't have another portal in your hand. So it's not reliable, but it's pretty reliable. Once you get the combo down, the game's pretty much over. Unless they have like point blank removal right there, the game's pretty much over. I'm running 2 Aether Gusts. This is just for Oko. Lazotep Plating is for burn. Negate is for control. Lavinia is actually, I added this recently, and it's for Fire Friends. So if they're playing, the Fires of Innovation, then this will counter it, and they'll have to pay their mana, of course. Conclave Tribunal, this is also to deal with Planeswalkers and stuff, and also to deal with Oko. I'm going to be saying that a lot. And Leyline of Sanctity, same thing, is just to deal with burn. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I've taken this to FNM, and a lot of people don't like this deck. And in fact, I bring it out just in case Degenerates show up, and they don't like this deck, yeah. They think it's degenerate, but I think it's kind of a cool concept. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's come up with this combo. Not a lot of people have heard about this combo, and it's surprising because you could do some broken things with this. And you could sideboard in a lot of stuff too, like Lazotep Plating. If you don't want to use God's Willing because you're in a burn matchup, just use Lazotep Plating. Although you don't get the effect from Feather, so I recommend you try searching for some other sideboard cards. That's the closest one I got. So anyways, that is the deck in a nutshell. It's pretty versatile against the meta, and I'm pretty sure it's like, yeah, it's basically one of my most powerful decks ever. I don't seem to lose a game with this. The only games I have lost were to, kind of BS decks, like Oko and, yeah, just those type of decks. But yeah, Feather is slowly slipping out of the meta, and I feel like this is a good way to kind of encourage more people to experiment with Feather. And you could do some other things, like I was also thinking of a combo with Time Wipe and Feather. And I was going to call it Feather Duster, because you see the pun there? You can play Time Wipe, return your Feather, and then, yeah, keep wiping the board every turn. Why not? So anyways, that's the deck in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, and peace.